Out more. We're talking about Christmas traditions today on Good Things, and they come in all shapes and sizes. But one that's been around for hundreds of years is Christmas cards. Do you send them? Do you enjoy receiving them? Some are pro, some are nay. Whichever way, though, not all have to be these perfectly poised family portraits. Some can help support local artists like Gail Richardson, who's joining us today on Good Things from Columbus, Mississippi. Hey, Gail.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you?
I am doing well, and I love your story. You have been doing art, I think, now for maybe the last 20 years, but you picked it up later in life. How did you find painting?
Some ladies from my office, I work at contracting in the Columbus Air Force Base, and we did a wet-on-wet class, which is kind of like the Bob Ross technique. And so I took several other classes, and by then I was hooked.
You found you something to do in retirement, and has kind of taken off for you. Were you surprised that, not that you enjoyed painting or art, I think we can all enjoy it in some way, but were you surprised that you had this talent maybe hidden for so many years?
Yeah, yes, because I always tell everybody when I paint something, I want it to evoke, of course, an emotion or a memory or something for you, as the client. But also, I want you to say, oh, that's a tree. And, we had yellow leaves or whatever that stood on a hill almost just like that. Or you could say, oh, that's a rose. So whatever I painted, I'd like for it to be, even though it's impressionist, I'd like for it to look something like what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that way you can connect kind of your own memories to, the art is sort of which I think we all appreciate about looking at fine paintings, or even those that, we find or connect with our local artists. I also read, Miss Gail, that you don't necessarily like painting alone. You prefer painting with a group. I find that interesting. What is it about being in that group atmosphere that gets your creative juices flowing?
These are ladies that I know and I've known a long time. And for us, I tell different people, because there's members of different groups, in this group that come to my house and paint, you cannot wear your feelings on your shoulders. Because if we don't like something or we don't understand something, we're going to say, why'd you put that tree there? Or, that doesn't look like mountains. So we're not being critical. We're just being observant, I guess is the thing to say, trying to understand you as a painter or me as the painter, what was my thought process of doing that. So,
I think, Miss Gail, when you create a safe space for you and some friends to be that way, it is fine to give that, feedback in a loving way and sort of stretch each other's talents a little bit further. Now, you also have done something a little bit different. I'm sure you're not the first to put your paintings on Christmas cards or stationery cards for people to use in the mail, but what inspired you to do that several years back?
I like giving cards in the mail. I like the snail mail. I like the idea of somebody, you go to the mailbox and there's your name on something and it's from your friend or somebody that says, hey, just thinking about you, or maybe if you'd have been sick or whatever, they say, hey, I heard you're sick, hope you're feeling better. It's a little more personal, I think, than an email or a text. So, but for the Christmas cards, I just was painting cute Christmas pictures, whimsical type stuff. I thought, well, how cute would these be in a card? You could send it to your friends, even send them a pack of cards, and they could send it to their friends or whatever. So, but it would just kind of go out and grow as it went.
Well, I love the idea, and I think it caught on. So how do you actually do it? I mean, I know you have originals of all your snowmen or your Christmas trees or sort of your teddy bears. I saw you painting as well. So you have the originals. How do you get those imprinted on cards?
I have a lady, I'm in Columbus, and I have a lady in Aliceville who is just extremely nice. And I send her a picture of the painting, and then she in turn copies it onto the cards, which are a heavy bond paper or kind of almost like a watercolor paper. So they almost look I want to say they almost look real, like they got real painting on them, but really it's a laser ink. But and so she just does those for me, and I get the blank cards and envelopes.
And you're able to sort of buy, as a stack or maybe, just as many as you would need. I like the idea of putting these little cards maybe in gift baskets or using them as stocking stuffers for people to continue to sort of give that gift of cheer throughout the year through the snail mail. I'm with you, Gail. I'm all about going to the mailbox and finding something personal. And I know my 9-year-old absolutely adores it. Her aunts take the time to send her birthday cards in the mail, even though they're going to see her, as well as holiday cards. And it brings so much joy to the mailbox and to just the day at the end of the day when you check the mail. So, Gail, how do we get your Christmas cards if we want to start a new tradition by giving local art along with maybe, a handwritten note? How do we do that?
I'm going to give you my Facebook business page, which is GCR, all caps, and Friends Art. And you can message me there, or you can send me an email at GCRArt, all small letters, 2016 at yahoo.com.
What's your favorite card that you've done so far?
I have a Christmas puppy in a red hat that is the cutest thing in the world. And I don't have but probably one, maybe 2 packs of cards left. And in the packages of cards, there are 2 designs so that you end up getting 4 cards. Like 2 of the puppies. This one happens to have 2 of the puppies and 2 of a Christmas teddy bear. So I try to put there's 4 cards, and it's $10. And that's shipping. That includes the shipping.
Well, Miss Gail, I know there's a lot of kids asking for puppies for Christmas. This may be a much better way to give them exactly what they want without actually having to feed anything for the rest of the time. Now, you have your originals. They're also on display in different places across the state, as well as there in Columbus. So, Miss Gail, where are you putting up your, your canvas art or your bigger projects?
Right now, I don't have a display at any kind of brick and mortar store at all. I'm trying to do more through social media right now. I'm not able anymore to go to like craft fairs and whatever. I can't do that. So everything I do is going to have to mainly be done organically. It's kind of hard to ask your family members all the time to say, can you go set up a table for me? And to setting up tables is really not real easy to get everything set up and get the easels and everything set up. So I'm not doing a lot of that anymore. I'm doing mainly social media.
Well, I think that's where a lot of folks can easily connect with you too, Miss Gail. I think that's a smart choice. I also don't want to, leave without you being able to encourage others that may be nearing retirement or after retirement. Because Miss Gail, if I'm doing the math, I mean, you've been doing this for 20 years and you started it right there at retirement. You deserve to sit at home and sell some of your stuff from the comfort of your own home. But what would you say to those that maybe feel like they've missed their boat or they can't be creative in their late 50s or 60s or on up? What would you say to people who would think that?
Everybody can paint, and you just need to take a paintbrush and put it to a canvas or put it to whatever you're going to paint with. It's just paint. So you can paint over it and start again, whatever. And just for the customers out there, clients out there, artists need you to support them as local artists. So like restaurant holders and whatever, you need to go to whatever town you're in. I'm sure you have a lot of artists that could put pictures in your restaurant and hang pictures in your restaurant or in doctor's offices or hospitals or whatever. But just support the local artists. That's a plea for me to give a living, working artist so they can make money.
Well, I love that. I think that's an easy way for many of the small businesses also listening to Good Things who may want to freshen up the looks on their walls. Why not give gallery space to a local artist to be able to beautify your walls, but also have the opportunity to turn around and sell it? It sounds like a great partnership and what what better thing to do than to help each other out. Miss Gail, I appreciate your time. I love what you're doing with your art and the Christmas cards and keeping that tradition. So I appreciate you.
All right. I thank you so much for calling and talking with me.
All righty. There you go. Christmas cards. They don't have to be, again, the staged family photos. They can be an opportunity to also connect with a local artist. I know Miss Gail is one of many who translates their art onto cards that you can snail mail out to your loved ones. But stick with us. We've got more good things for you coming up next.